Good morning, everybody. The shiur לעילוי נשמה של all the those who were killed, murdered, and to the well recovering of all the wounded, and to release of all the kidnapped, should come back home, all of them, Bezrat Hashem, and to the Atzlacha, to the success of our soldiers in this holy war. Parashat Vayishlach. One of the interesting things in Parashat Vayishlach is to understand what is the power of Am Yisrael, which has to lead us also in this time, those very difficult times that we're going through. Yaakov Avinu goes on his way to meet Esau. He sends angels to Esau to understand and realize what is the intention of Esau. There's a question, how does he use angels, which is also a problem. You're not even allowed to use a coin today, like to make him ask him to do something for you. And I'm not going to know this issue. How is he sending angels? So one of the answers is a very good answer for all us to understand. Those angels are really the angels that Yaakov, created. As we remember, the dream of the ladder, the angels are in him, they're not on the ladder, in. And one of them is that those are really the angels, because it's written that they're going up first and then coming down. And as we said before, the angels come from up there, so they should first of all come down and then go up. But as we explained, those angels are the angels that each one of us is creating when he's doing the good deeds. So for every good deed there is an angel. Angel is created here, and he goes up and brings down all the good of this world. This is in the good side. Unfortunately, there's also a bad side. If you do bad things, you create bad angels. Anyway, we see in the end of the last parsha, ויפגעו מלאכי אלוקים. The angels of God are meeting him. So who are those angels? And then it's written, Vayishlach Yaakov malachim lefanav, like they're standing in front of him. Those are the same angels. So one of the explanation is that those are really the angels from the start to the end, the angels that Yaakov himself created, so there is no problem. Of course he can send his own angels. But then we see another interesting point. When Yaakov Avinu was promised that God is going to keep him on all the way, I'm not going to leave you, I'm with you. So the question is, if this is the case, why is he so worried, and why is he asking God to protect him? This is connected to one of the interesting points in our parsha. There are a lot of things that have a double meaning, or they are said in two different ways, the same thing. And one of the main thing is that when Yaakov Avinu is asking God, Atzileni na miyad achi miyad Esau, save me from my brother from Esau. Or everyone said, Atzileni na miyad, from the hands of my brother and from the hands of Esau. What does it mean about that? Two people there? The two persons there? There is his brother and Esau. His brother is Esau. So if it was written his brother, we all know it's Esau. If it was written Esau, we all know it's a brother. And you know what? Even if it was written Esau, my brother Esau, also we can go with it. But why is the Torah saying Atzilena miyadachi, from the hands of my brother, and again from the hands of Esau? Like it looks, there are two figures. And the real explanation is that why is he worried? As we said, God promised him that there is nothing wrong going to happen to him. Nevertheless, Rambam says, Katonti mikol hachasadim. I'm afraid of all the miracle that God did for me on the way, that he saved me from Laban, and although we all know the story. And he's afraid that he's got no schuyot anymore. All the schuyot are finished. This is, by the way, when somebody is being saved, and he says, Birkat HaGomel. This is the only blessing that instead of saying Amen, you say, the one who did good to you is going to go good to you forever. Selah. And this is like, why? Why do you say this? Why don't you say Amen and that's it? Because the minute that somebody gets a good thing from God, it's it's on account of something. It's not, God is like, if he gives you something good, it means that now you have less reward because you are already getting a part of the reward when God is saving you. So this is the point that you say, it's okay, God is going to save you, all your reward and all the trust, all the rights that you have are going to be saved. Don't worry, God is going to save you also in the future. So this is what Yaakov is saying. He's saying, Katonti mikol hachasadim. Through all those miracles that were happening to me, maybe I lost it and that's it. I don't deserve any more saving. Nevertheless, the interesting point is that what is Yaakov worried about? Rambam says, even if there was no promise, every Jew has to trust God. Where is the basic trust in God? But all this trust in God has to do with one thing. How do you behave? In other words, from the physical side, from the side of the parnasa and the physical power, this is something that you can account. Everything is in the everything that we get is from God. But there is one thing that God doesn't give it to us, and this is yirat shamayim. And a Jew understands that what is he doing in this world? The main basic thing is, I'm using all the tools of Olam Hazeh to get to Olam Haba. That's the idea. I'm using all those materialistic means in order to get to the target, which is the target, worshiping God, getting close to God, loving my people, loving the world, and get to Olam Haba. That's the whole idea. That's the base of everything. So, when Yaakov Avinu is sending the angels, and the angels come back, he says, yes, Esau coming, and he's got 400 people with him. So, Yaakov doesn't know what's going on here. Is he coming? It looks like, as we all know, Esau, he comes to have a fight. So, Yaakov prepares himself to two things. By the way, all the Chachamim, when they had a problem with the Goyim and they had to discuss something with them, they used to read this parashat to learn how to behave. Because what is teaching us, Yaakov, is first of all, he prepared himself, Doron, Tfilah, V'milchama. First of all, you give a present, then you pray to God, and then if all those doesn't work, then you go to war. And this is what Yaakov is doing. He's sending a present to Esau. Unbelievable presents. Really, a lot of things. Worth a lot of money, and he's doing something very strange. He's dividing his camp to two, the people to two. Why is he doing this? Because the reasonable thought will be that if he comes with 400 people, he doesn't come in peace. But maybe he does. So if you're going to have your people with weapons in their hands, so even if Esau was thinking about love and not fight, peace, and not a war, when he will see the people of Yaakov coming with weapons, he will start a war anyway. So what do we do? So he said there was something very clever. He divided his people to two. The first group, they were with no weapons. They put even white flags, like saying, we come in peace. And the second group behind was fully, weapon, I don't know how you say it, with weapons and everything, ready for a war, ready for a fight. So, if Esau comes in peace, the group behind are hiding the weapons, and everything is okay. And if Esau comes for a fight, for a war, then the first group goes left, right and left, and the group behind gets out with the weapons, and they have a fight, they have a war. Very clever. And this is the way he did. But what is he really worried about? Because, okay, peace, war, what is his biggest fright from Esau? So look, see what he's asking. Atzilei nina miyad achi miyad Esau. Save me from my brother, and then save me from Esau. In other words, first of all, he puts his brother. He says, what do you mean? He says, if Esau is going to come to me as a brother, save me from his hugs and his kisses. Why? He comes as a brother. This is this unbelief. That's the best thing that can happen. So why do you want to be saved? You should pray for this, that he's going to come as a brother. But that's exactly the point. And if we go back, when Rivka was pregnant with Esau and Yaakov in the belly, and they were fighting, every time that they went near Bet Midrash, Yeshiva, Yaakov wanted to go out. When they went near idol worshiper place, like a church or whatever what you call it at that time, idol worshiper more. And Esau wanted to go out. So everybody is asking, how is it that Yaakov wants to go out? Well, what do you mean? He wants to go out to learn with the Bet Midrash Shel Shem Ve'ever, the yeshiva. So, but in the belly, there is an angel teaching him. Is there a better teacher than an angel that you want to go out and learn outside? Why do you want to leave this best teacher in the world, an angel? Because your partner is Esau. And the influence of Esau, even when you learn Torah, is the worst. And by the way, a lot of times we understand it. We know this guy is an enemy. We know that we have to be careful. But if the guy is a brother, is a friend, is one of our community, is one of our family, we trust him. And sometimes those people are the worst, because if they are going in the wrong way, they bring the temptation to go with them, and they make it also so nice. And sometimes we are tempted to do this, as we all know, because we have Yetzer Hara. Everybody's got Yetzer Hara, and everybody wants those physical, materialistic things. Everybody wants to have fun in his life, wants to go let's say, to parties, to have good food, to be wealthy, to have a nice car, to have a nice house. Everybody wants it. But the point is, if you're going with a bad company, the influence is, by the way, it's also not good from the physical side. I remember I was going in this party. This was those very, very rich people. But not all of them were rich. There were part of the people I knew that are not rich, but they looked more rich than the others. That they were wearing brand names and really unbelievable they looked. And all the talk around was only about this one got this, money, everything was physical, nothing spiritual. The funny thing is that those who were bragging the most are those who really didn't have it, but they wanted to keep up with the Joneses. You know this. They wanted to look that they are rich. Because the real rich people, like I met this week, one of the biggest lawyers in Israel, in a certain field, humble, nice guy. And you sometimes you read this lawyer that was yesterday. I met a lot of them because we're dealing with something, and he talks like the same way as this party. And we have to understand, in order for him to play the game, it costs him a lot of money that he hasn't got. This is temptation. We are tempted to go. We want to be a part of this. And this is what Yaakov Avinu was afraid more, because the power of Am Yisrael is the spiritual power. It's not the physical power. So if it comes as an enemy to have a fight, we'll have a fight. And by the way, we see Yaakov Avinu has got a lot of powers. He's got no problem. We know all what he did. He knows how to deal. He dealt with Lavan Rasha. He dealt with all on the way with his brother Esau. He dealt with everybody. And now he's got, again, this conflict. What to do? What should I do? How should I behave? And he really is afraid from what? From the spiritual side. When Esau will come and hug me as a brother, and that's what happened, by the way. He suddenly saw Yaakov, and he was full with love and was hugging and kissing, and this is what he was most afraid. Because he knew that those kissing, if he is going to live, he and his family, this beautiful Jewish family, with the family of Esau, with the people of Esau, the influence will come. And the influence, unfortunately, can lead to the worst thing that can be, losing the purpose, losing your way in this life, and losing the idea, why did you come here? So this was his greatest worry. And this is something that you have to worry. We see today, we see the influence of the Western culture on us. This is Hanukkah. This is the influence of the Greeks, the Greek culture. Like a few years ago, I saw Pompeii. I don't know if you saw it. If you saw Pompeii, you see a city that was covered with ash from the volcano, and it was covered with this dust of the volcanic dust or whatever it's called. And like when they dig in, they found the city like you can walk on the streets. And nevertheless, the figures like dogs and people are frozen, like they were in the deep freeze. In a moment, they froze in the way they were, like in the middle of eating, middle of thing. Now, this Pompeii was one of the most corrupted places of the world. This exactly was the symbol of the Greek culture. Do you remember something similar in the past? Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was says, well, like Gan Hashem. What a beautiful place, unbelievable, but corrupted to the point that God destroyed it. So God wanted us to understand. We cannot see anything about Sodom. Everything was destroyed. This is a desert there. But here, suddenly, they dig in the earth and they find this beautiful town. You know, to see all the things, all the mosaics, and you go to museum, you see the things that it look like glass things, unbelievable. The craft that they had there, those beautiful things, really beautiful tools, beautiful thing, and you see and you also see the corruption. You see this. The way they were behaved, like they had those parties, and you've got those mosaics that show you the parties that they had, the way they behaved, the way they lived. So God destroyed them. But He showed us to understand, be very careful. Don't be tempted to this culture. It's very tempting. It's very tempting, unbelievable. We all know it. We live it today. We see all this running after the money and the clothes and the holidays and houses and cars and other things. And all this destruction of the basic families that God wanted us to be. Like everything is distorted. Everything is normal is not normal. The not normal is normal. And we live in this. And don't forget what happened a few weeks ago. And what happened before. When people were disturbed on Yom Kippur. When people were shouting against everything that has to do with religion. And today, Baruch Hashem, we see Am Yisrael coming back to the religion. Look, beautiful things are happening. We see they want tzitzis, they want tefillin, they're praying in the middle of Gaza. They learn the middle of Gaza. And everybody's helping each other. Really, this is what we should pray for. This is our thing that is going to save us. But we have to put in our mind that we have to be very careful from all those hugs and kisses from the wrong place. We love everybody, but be careful not to be influenced by the corruption. Because this is exactly what happened on Hanukkah. And this is exactly what happened to Pompeii. And this is exactly what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not going to happen to us. Because God is leading us. And God is showing us the way. So we should go with God and understand and realize that the answer to all the problems is to light this small candle of the Jewish nation. And this candle will light up the whole world with the good of the Torah, with the beauty of the Torah, with the beauty of love, not war. Bezrat Hashem. If we will be careful to be saved from the hugs of the Western Greek culture, so we will also be saved from Esau Russia from the physical side. All the best.